Okay, family. So we had a little piece of a technical difficulty there, and looks like the laptop had ran out of power. As we brought it out here, I was in a rush to get this going for you that we forgot to plug the laptop in, and so the battery died in the midst of us right when it was getting good. So we're going to pick it up right where we left off, and we'll go back into that in just a moment. And we'll get some more of this Flavius Josephusness under our belts. How about that? And then we'll wrap this up, and then we'll do it again. Again, this is Flavius Josephus, Wars of the Jews, Book 4, Chapter 3, Part 2. Okay? And so here we are. They seized upon the strongest place of the whole city. You may call it a temple if you please, though it be like a citadel or a fortress. Now, while you have tyranny in so great a degree walled in, and see your enemies over your head, to what purpose is it to take counsel? And what have you to support your minds withal? Perhaps you wait for the Romans, that they may protect our holy places. Are our matters then brought to that pass? And are we come to that degree of misery that our enemies themselves are expected to pity us? O wretched creatures, will you not rise up and turn upon those that strike you, which you may observe in wild beasts themselves, that they will avenge themselves on those that strike them? Will you not call to mind, every one of you, the calamities you yourselves have suffered, nor lay before your eyes what afflictions you yourselves have undergone? And will not such things sharpen your souls to revenge? Is therefore that most honorable and most natural of our passions utterly lost? I mean the desire of liberty. Truly we are in love with slavery, and in love with those that lord it over us, as if we had received that principle of subjection from our ancestors. Whoa, now that's deep. Yet did they undergo many and great wars for the sake of liberty, nor were they so far overcome by the power of the Egyptians or the Medes, but that still they did what they thought fit, notwithstanding their commands to the contrary. And what occasion is there now for a war with the Romans? So what do we need to fight the Romans for? He says, I meddle not with determining whether it be advantageous or profitable war or not. What pretense is there for it? Is it not that we may enjoy our liberty? Besides, shall we not bear the lords of the habitable earth to be lords over us, and yet bear tyrants of our own country? Okay. Besides, shall we not bear the lords of the habitable earth to be lords over us, and yet bear tyrants of our own country? Although I must say that submission to foreigners may be borne, because fortune has already doomed us to it, while submission to wicked people of our own nation is too unmanly and brought upon us by our own consent. However, since I have had occasion to mention the Romans, I will not conceal a thing that I am speaking that comes into my mind and affects me considerably. It is this, that though we should be taken by them, God forbid the event should be so, yet can we undergo nothing that will be harder to be borne than what these men have already brought upon us. How then can we avoid shedding of tears when we see the Romans' donations in our temple, while we withal see those of our own nation taking our spoils and plundering our glorious metropolis and slaughtering our men, from which enormities those Romans themselves would have abstained? So he's saying we're seeing people in our city do things that Romans wouldn't even do. To see those Romans never going beyond the bounds allotted to profane persons, nor venturing to break in upon any of our sacred customs, nay, having a horror on their minds when they view at a distance those sacred walls, while some that have been born in this very country and brought up in our customs and called Jews do walk about in the midst of the holy places, and at the very time when their hands are still warm with the slaughter of their own countrymen. Besides, can anyone be afraid of a war abroad, and that with such as will have comparatively such much greater moderation than our own people have? For truly, if we may suit our words to the things they represent, 'tis profitable one may hereafter find the Romans to be the supporters of our laws, and those within ourselves the subverters of them. And now I am persuaded that every one of you here comes satisfied before I speak, that these overthrows of our liberties deserve to be destroyed, and that nobody can so much as devise a punishment that they have not deserved by what they have not done, and that you all are provoked against them by those their wicked actions, whence you have suffered so greatly. But perhaps many of you are affrighted at the multitude of these zealots, and at their audaciousness, as well as the advantage they have over us in their being higher in a place than we are, because they're now up in the temple. For these circumstances, as they have been occasioned by your negligence, so will they become still greater in being still longer neglected. For their multitude is every day augmented by every ill man's running away to those that are like themselves. And their audaciousness is therefore inflamed, because they meet with no obstruction to their designs. And for their higher place, they will make use of it for engines also. So, because they're up on the mountain, they'll be able to create weapons, the engines, that will be able to fight them, because they're in the lower part of the city. They've got to go up that mountain to fight them. If we give them time to do so, they will build engines, and they will make use of them, is what they're saying right here. And for their higher place, they will make use of it for engines also, if we give them time to do so. But be assured of this, that if we go up and fight them, they will be made tamer by their own consciousness, and what advantages they have in the height of their situation. They will lose by opposition for their reason. Perhaps also God himself, perhaps also God himself, who have been affronted by them, will make what they throw at us return against them, because that happened in another city. The wind turned around. They were throwing darts at the Romans, and the wind blew so hard it turned their darts around and came right back at them. And these impious wretches will be killed by their own darts. Let us but make our appearance before them, and they will come to nothing. However, it is a right thing, if there should be any danger in the attempt, to die before those holy gates, than to spend our very lives, if for not the sake of our children and wives, yet for God's sake and for the sake of this sanctuary. I will assist you both with my counsel and with my hand. So now he's saying, I'm going to fight. Nor shall any sagacity of ours be wanting for your support, nor shall you see, nor shall any sagacity of ours be wanting for your support, nor shall you see that I will be sparing of my body neither. Okay, so he's saying right here that I'm going to put my body on the line right along with you, putting your body on the line. We're all going to go up here, and we're going to fight these guys together, and we're going to take this back. And that was the thing that needed to be done. It should have been done in the first place. Should not have even come to this. And this is what he was saying, in that whole speech, is that, why'd you guys wait so long? Now you're saying you want to go fight these guys, and look how strong they become, right? When it was in the beginning, it was just a few of them. We could have took them out, and we could have avoided this whole mess, But now you guys have let this go on for so long that now we've got to fight, this little miniature army, and now they're holding out up in the temple, and we got to go clear the temple out, and we don't have any warring men. We've got old men. There's a bunch of old men and some young men, a few young men, but we don't have any warring men. And all those men that were up there that had become a part of that group were men that like to fight. They were warring men. So the Romans are coming. So like I said before, when Titus and Vespasian came to the city, he found two factions. They were fighting against each other, right? And we're going to see what happens. We're getting to that place now. We're going to see what happens. Because they back up and they let them fight. First they went in, and they got their hats handed to them, and they backed up and they said, you know what, let them, cull their numbers down a little bit. Once they kill each other off a little bit, then we'll go in there and we'll take it then. But something else happened in the meantime. And so that's the thing we're talking about here, family. Now, I want to tell you thank you so much for those of you who are helping with the GoFundMe for Mama, so we can get the generator up in here and keep a few lights on and her food going and her blender and stuff, so we can keep her going. Thank you for all of you who have helped with that so far, and thank you to those of you who have not helped yet, but you're praying for our support, and for those of you who are going to support us and just haven't done so yet. We want to say thank you to all of you guys. So I can't wait till we get past this, because once I get the generator, you guys will be able to see it. We're going to do a grand unboxing right here in the room, and everybody's going to get a chance to see it. And so you'll see, where your dollars went. We're not doing the Dr. Umar Johnson thing over here, collecting a bunch of money for a school that hasn't shown its face yet. So we're not doing that. So anyway, it may never show its face. I don't know. I believe that if you I believe in keeping your word. If you say you're going to do a thing. And the reason why we're doing it is for Mama. I'm not asking for this for me. Of course, it will benefit me during that time, but it's not because of me. If I was by myself, I'd just get my hustle on and do what I had to do. But this is for my mother, And I have family members that aren't helping me, so I got to go it alone, and I need help. So I want to say thank you to all of you who have helped. Reeby's been helping, and he's put it in the class a couple times. We've been in the class, and he's mentioned it, and different people are coming forward, and they're helping that way. So thank you to all of you who are helping out that way. Okay, so then we are going to leave it right there, family. I want to say thank you so much. Certainly appreciate you. And we are going to come back at this again. And when we come back at this again, we'll pick up where we left off. We are in verse 11 of chapter 3, and we're going to start moving through that as we see these zealots getting in the city, and they've barricaded themselves in at the temple, and then we're going to see what happens next, okay? So thank you so much. We do appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.